I think there's a lot of layers to that idea of being the outsider. I think, in a nutshell, to some degree, the problem is when people don't see the areas in which they are already an outsider, and so that tendency to everyone's experienced it, but I think there's a good majority of people that reject that experience because it's painful. And again, from my perspective, St. Porphyrios, he talks about these two ways. There's a way that's harder, people moving and kind of attacking their passions directly, and it's this harder path. And he talked about this path of love, and it's not quite the same thing, but I have found that I think what's necessary to some degree is having this kind of marriage of both, because going down this hard path of embracing pain and suffering, I think this is a very key thing in regards of the American experience, because it's in the absence of embracing that pain that I find that all of our problems are really manifested, whether they're class, race, the intersection of the two. And more importantly, that refusal to embrace the pain of being an outsider is the thing that can oftentimes develop a sort of anemia in someone's faith and their experience of the faith and the tradition. And I think it's very much linked to not divorcing ourselves from looking at, the early church and the scriptures again. That reality of the shifting narrative of Christ, of who Christ is, and this reality that there's a lens that our country puts upon us, and most people unfortunately are oblivious to it, and when they become aware of it, it's a very disturbing phenomena, and then they will begin to oftentimes kind of kick and scream against it. And I think that kicking and screaming is a lot of the tension and turmoil you see in our country, some of the stuff that's underneath the surface at times that boils over. And again, it all comes from this refusal to embrace that uncomfortability that isn't exclusively manifested in the phenomena of being the outsider, but it's that phenomena of being the outsider is the kind of portal by which everyone can enter. But some people's doorways are a little bit different. But whether you're African American, European American, and whatever various stripes of European ancestry, there's a portal of being an outsider in which when you enter into that door, you come into this kind of like larger room that we all should be in. And I think that's the thing, is people don't want to go through that door, I have found for me personally that it's been very, I don't want to use the word salvific because that's not my call, but it's been very helpful and it's been transformative. I find that I do better when I embrace it. I find that there's a clarity and there's an ability to endure. There's an ability to approach virtue and to embrace difficulty when I'm aware of that. When I'm falling prey to wanting to kick against it, things are difficult. So there's an immense value in it. I think that one finds a fellowship with our Lord and with the holy ones of our church that is qualitatively different when you embrace that. And, I guess in many ways I can simply say it's the cross, but it's a very powerful thing.
Did years burn out those words? Did a voice whisper absurd? hand and asked if you'd last till the end.